Hey folks, another episode of the Shaker's Kitchen. Something I look forward to every year is Copper River salmon. It's been a terrible year in Alaska for the salmon run. However, we have some salmon. Exquisite Copper River salmon. In my mind, the best salmon in the world. We're going to do this little angel hair pasta. We've pre-cooked the pasta. I'm just going to, at this point, therm it, get it up to speed, up to temperature. So real simple here. I'm just going to begin with a little bit of butter in here, a little bit of olive oil. And we're just going to get this guy moving along a little bit. I'm going to herb it on the backside. So as soon as this melts a little bit, pasta's going to go right on top of this. And again, the point is just to get this rethermed, get it up to temperature. That's really all I'm looking for. So I'm not interested in doing a nest necessarily. So just to get that moving along a little bit. Now to just kind of boost the flavors, I'm going to take this roasted red pepper. You can roast them yourself. You get them commercially available. They're marvelous products today. Most of them come out of Italy. A little bit of the pepper juice on top of the pasta, just give it a real flavorful explosion. We also have some dandelion leaves here. So I picked these today. Nice, organic, fresh leaves. Give them a fast rinse, slice them like this, a little bit of olive oil on top of this pan right here. I've got 140 degrees right now, just a real low temperature. Got a couple of cloves of garlic smashed into here as well. We're not doing high cuisine necessarily with this, we just want to get some really nice flavors off of that. Beginning with that, a little bit of kosher salt. I'll smash the kosher salt here as well. Now, the main event. We're going to take our salmon. It's a beautiful fillet right now. We're looking for about a 10-ounce portion or so. So I'm going to cut her right about there. Skin side down. Olive oil. A little smudge of butter. As you can see, induction cooks really quickly, faster than gas, faster than electric. Salmon down. A little salt, a little black pepper. That's all I want here. Sometimes I do this with dill. Sometimes I do a like a champagne beurre blanc or something of that nature. Today for the client, we're just going to do it straight up as it is. Copper River salmon, angel hair pasta, capellini if you want, and some really nice dandelion leaves. So our butter is starting to brown here, and that's one of the reasons that we have olive oil as well. I'm not looking for brown butter necessarily. I just want to get some good, wholesome butter flavors going on, along with that little swoosh of garlic in there, and with our red pepper. Multiple ways to do this. You could do this on a grill. You could do this in an oven as well. I like sauteing things, so that's what we're going to do. I also like to have my salmon come up right about medium. As most of our clients do at Shakers, they're maybe a little more worldly and accustomed to eating things that are perhaps not overly cooked like you might otherwise find in the Milwaukee marketplace. As we're getting close, our pasta is really, for all intent and purpose, at the right temperature now. And I just want to get a little bit of a boost on that with some other flavoring. So I'm going to get a little bit of oregano in here. A small amount. It's going to work itself in. And a little bit of tarragon leaf as well. Using dried tarragon and dried oregano. If you want to use fresh, you're certainly more than welcome to. I just like the combination of the flavors. I think it just has a real nice little balance to it. Sizzle. Now the other part of the order that's coming up for them is going to be shrimp. So while this is working away, I'll get myself some shrimp. These are U10 wild-caught shrimp from the Gulf of Mexico. Again, at Shakers, we do not use Pacific Rim shrimp or prawns. The difference between a prawn and a shrimp is that a shrimp has a little bit longer body to it. Prawn is a little bit wider across the beam, and these are exposed swimmerettes. And a shrimp and a prawn has the exoskeleton coming down a little further, so they're a little bit hidden on the inside. So you just take it's almost like we're taking the carapace off the well. The shell's coming off right now. Swimmerettes come off as well. So what we teach people is just to hold it inside your palm of your hand like this, and then to just start shucking these things. I'd like to leave the last segment on at the tail section. Just aesthetically, it gives it a little bit more appeal. Now the customers ask that we don't do these spicy, so I'm not going to use our piri-piri oil. I'm not going to use our Cajun dust rub either, just garlic and olive oil in a saute pan. And have little red beans and rice on the side with this. Very simple. So we're kind of climbing up the temperature now. We got this, this is about where I want it to be. Lightly seared dandelion. Going to back this up on top. We're not making contact. Just going to sit over that. In our pan, so a garlic shrimp without the Cajun or Creole seasoning. What I will do is just a touch of Old Bay. Old Bay is a traditional East Coast seasoning that is not spicy. I'm actually going to add that directly into, as you can see, into the butter and the olive oil. And as we've covered before, I like to take my shrimp. We're going to clean these out. This is the sand vein, but it's also where the roe is. The roe naturally is going to be the egg sac of the shrimp. So these merely come in like this. We're going to stand them up inside the radius. Classic French cuisine, you would leave the sand vein in, you leave the roe sac as well. If you ever watched Julia Child, the incomparable Julia Child, she's always adamant that you leave that in. I personally like the flavor that goes along with that. Some people don't. So starting to get this really nice little crust here on the bottom. Our skin's going to be just delightful to eat. I think that people that don't eat salmon skin that is just nice and crispy are making a huge mistake. It's so textural, it adds so much to the flavor. So now we started off in the center of these. I'm going to knock them off on the side. I'm going to cook there for a while. Since we're not doing this in a spicy way, we're going to take just a little bit of our pomodoro, which is a tomato product that we just mulch down, just to give it a little more complexity. Knowing this customer, I know she's going to want to have a little bit of citrus as well, so I just want to get some peel in there, and I'll do this as opposed to doing this with zest. I'm going to cut this down and toss this into And the citrus just give it a little more brightness. Side one, side two. Turn this down a little bit. I'm going to actually stick this in the oven just for a moment. Now, add the red beans and rice. This wine has some allergies, so she can't do wheat. Instead of wheat product, we're doing red beans and rice. These are just beautiful looking. They got a real lovely orange complexion to them. Reduce our heat. We're almost done. Shrimp is done, red beans and rice are done, pasta's done. Add a little bit of dandelion to it so they can both experience how wonderful this is. And I'm just to juke up the flavors a little bit, take a little bit of balsamic on here. So it just cooks with just a touch of that little the acetic acid. Take a look at our salmon. Our salmon is done. Again, we're not nesting. Hand drippings on the perimeter, dress up the plate. Dandelion on top. Dandelion here as well. Everything's off. And we are done. Cheers. Versus